Frostcrumb expanse was never meant to be gentle. It is a cold world, locked in long winters, where sugar slush replaces oceans and powdered frost drifts like ash across frozen plains. Life survives here in pockets, settlements carved into ice cliffs, communities adapted to scarcity and patience. Not everyone can live on Frostcrumb, but those who do, endure. For generations, the people of Frostcrumb learned to coexist with the great dough beasts, massive creatures formed from hardened dough and mineralized sugars. Slow, territorial, powerful, but predictable. They were part of the balance. The largest of them all was known simply as the bear. It once roamed the canyons in long, deliberate paths, its sugar crystal armor forming naturally over centuries, protective, not excessive. Its presence stabilized the slush plains. Its movement carved safe routes through the ice, paths that settlements and trade routes came to depend on. Then the decay began. Not rot, not corruption, accumulation. The sugar armor continued to grow, fed by unnatural resonance trapped in the frozen crust. Each layer amplified instinct. Each step carried more force than the last. The bear grew larger, heavier, less aware of its own strength. When decay reaches this stage, dough beasts do not stop. They run. Settlements were abandoned overnight. Ice bridges collapsed, slush fields liquefied under pressure. Entire trade routes vanished beneath fractured terrain. The Frostcrumb Council sent the signal few ever hoped to send. They did not ask for extermination, they asked for intervention, and so the melodic order was called. They are not soldiers, they are not conquerors. The melodic order exists to restore balance where excess has broken it. Using resonance, rhythm, and controlled harmonic force, their instruments are not weapons in the traditional sense. They are tools of listening. This trio was chosen not for power, but for restraint. The conductor, steady, obedient to structure, chosen for having restored harmony once before, not through strength but through listening. The percussionist, grounded, physical, deeply empathetic toward creatures that cannot choose their fate. The string bearer, precise, detached, prepared to end things cleanly if mercy fails. They did not arrive expecting to fight. They arrived expecting to decide. From orbit, Frostcrumb looked calm. On the surface, it was already breaking. The trio tracked the bear's movement across shattered plains and deepening canyons. They observed first, always. They watched the bear walk through ice cliffs as if they were soft dough. They watched it destroy without intent. That was when the truth became clear. If the bear continued, Frostcrumb would not survive another season. Subduing the bear would be easier. Ending it would be safest. But reversal, true rebalancing, was possible. Rare, dangerous, and never guaranteed. Only the conductor had seen it work before, only once, and never on something this large. They did not announce themselves. They moved, along cliff edges, across fractured ground, cutting ahead of the bear's path, not to chase, but to intercept. Weapons remained lowered, instruments silent. This was not a charge, it was a promise. The reharmonization. The bear rose higher than the ice remembered. Its weight pressed the frozen slush into groaning fractures, sugar crystal plates grinding against one another with a sound like stone dragged across glass. Heat pulsed faintly through the cracks in its hide, an echo of something that had once been balanced, now amplified past restraint. The melodic order did not retreat. They stood where the bear's path narrowed, where the canyon walls drew close, and the ground itself was forced to listen. Snow drifted sideways in the wind. For a long moment, nothing moved. Then the string bearer stepped forward, not toward the bear, but toward the space beneath it. She planted one boot carefully, testing the ice, feeling the vibration in the slush below. Her violin came up slowly, deliberately, as if raised from memory rather than sound. The bow hovered just above the strings. She did not look at the bear. She listened to the ground. The first note was barely a note at all, more a pressure than a sound. A thin harmonic slipped into the frozen slush, threading itself through the sugar-laced ice beneath the bear's forelimbs. The ground answered. A section of slush collapsed inward, not violently, not fully, just enough. The bear's weight shifted as one massive foreleg sank, sugar crystal armor grinding as it searched for purchase. The bear huffed, confused. Not angry, confused. That was the opening.